Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In today's review video, I'm gonna be talking about Modern Warfare 3, the open beta. I did actually play quite a bit of this, and I kinda got a feel for it, so I want to review it for you guys, and kinda just talk about what my thoughts are, what I find like the good points and the bad points, like usually just your average review, but instead of doing a voiceover, I thought maybe it would be fun to actually finally do a live gameplay reaction to it. Now I am level 16 as you can see, so I did play a little bit already, but either way I want to review this with you guys, so let's just get started. Alright guys, let's start with the weapons first. So you actually unlock, when you play this, not all the weapons obviously. This is kind of more beta-ish at this point, like I feel like the past few have been the same way. Which is normal, I feel, it's not that weird. So you start actually with 3 assault rifles, 2 battle rifles, 3 SMGs, 2 shotguns, 2 LMGs, 2 marksmans, and 2 snipers. And with sidearms you also get 1 SMG and 2 pistols and 1 launcher, the Pila, which honestly is kind of returning. With that obviously you have some tacticals like flash grenade, the battle rage, which I'm using currently with this loadout, the emo grenade, the smoke grenade, and the scatter mine, which I have not unlocked yet. You also have lethals, frag grenades, breacher drone, semtex, and thermobaric grenade. I have not used this yet. It sounds fantastic, but I love the semtex, so I'm gonna stick with that. As well as some field equipments like trophy system, comm scrambler, med box, munitions box, which I use to restock my grenades and ammo, and the ACS, which I've never heard of, but it is a welcome change. As well as some gear itself, which gives you boosts on its own. These are basically perks now, which I kind of like, honestly. This way it just feels a little bit more perkish almost. Like you have, more slight distance with this, for example, with your sneakier with certain ones. You have more climbing with others, as well as like gear, so like, less damage, stuff like that. I think that is better. Anyway, this is your loadout basically. With the loadout, of course, you can modify these with the gunsmith. I have quite a bit possible to modify here. Some of these things you do need to level certain other guns. It's the same concept basically as Modern Warfare 2, which I'm not a big fan of necessarily, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I just personally I like to, unlock stuff with certain guns and not just have to use these guns for the stuff. I'm not someone that is like going for certain camos or anything like that. So maybe that's more it. Maybe that's why they wanted to make it a little bit more tough. That's fine. Again, this is the same concept in Modern Warfare 2. I think it was even in Modern Warfare 1. It's been a while since I played that, so I can for sure say. So these are basically all the guns and all your equipment. Kind of standard, like I already had an assault rifle and a sniper loadout, basically. I also have a submachine gun, which I barely have used, and like a few other guns that I basically have not used yet. I'm trying to first get this gun done and then like move on as I play. So this is your loadout. You also have kill streaks. The UAV is of course there. You have a mosquito drone, which is an explosive drone. You have a SAM turret, which everyone kind of knows shoots things out of the sky. You have the Guardian SC, which is basically a sound wave kind of machine. It will blur your vision. It will basically stun you. It's almost like a stun grenade, but more like a speaker. You have the counter UAV, the SAE, which both should be returning for you. The remote turret, I think I have seen this before. I'm not fully sure it's in every Call of Duty, but it's here. And the Juggernaut Recon, which does not surprise me. So anyway, let's hop into a match. So I'm mainly playing Mosh Pit. So I'm gonna be reacting to certain things in a match. It's gonna be something. But I want to do this live. I will do this live, so bear with me. It's gonna be an entertaining match. Let's start with the pros and cons first. So first pro is definitely the TTK being a little bit less. I know people might actually think of this as a con. It's not. For me. For you maybe. But I'm not a bunny hopping, quick scoping kind of person. And I definitely, I don't like doing that either. So for me, it's pretty important that, you know, there's balance for everyone. Now, second pro is definitely balancing. I feel like the game is pretty balanced in its guns. Sounds really weird how I say this, but like, I feel like a sniper is as it should be. It's not always like an instant kill, but it's not always very weak either. Which is a very good, like, pro in my eyes. Same as shotgun, like, up close, it's just stronger than it is, like, further away. It's just how it is, which is better. Last but not least, I think for me the best pro is also, or one of the biggest pros is also like the actual maps. I feel like bringing back maps instead of like just bringing new maps out is just good in my eyes. I never grew up with these kind of maps. I don't know half of them. Literally I know half of them. I don't know the other half. Which means for me, like, this is all kind of new. It's all kind of there, which is good for me. So I really enjoy that. Like, it's not for just new players, but it's also for the old ones. So like, the older people are, you know, the older COD players are also coming back, which is kind of nice. I think that, you know, Modern Warfare 2 and 1 and also Vanguard, like, they had potential, but they kind of ruined it in my eyes a little bit, because I just didn't enjoy them as much as, for example, Cold War, which I really enjoyed. So for me, right now, this feels a little bit better. Like, the maps are pretty fun, the guns feel balanced, and like the TTK is just less, and that is exactly what I kind of wanted. So for me, this is good. Alright, first things first on the cons is the audio, the footstep audio especially. Footsteps sound exactly the same for enemies and friends, which makes it kind of hard to distinguish like whether or not it is an enemy or a friend. Sometimes I don't hear any, but that's probably because the audio for the game itself is pretty loud. I feel like it's a big if, really. But for me, it's not as loud as it should be. And usually in COD, I don't have any problem with the audio until now, so I'm not really fully sure why, and if they changed that, and if so, why. But if it's not the case that's on purpose, then I mean, it can still be very much changed. Second off, on the cons is definitely, which makes it even worse for me, is the fact that I don't see the nameplates as fast anymore. So the nameplates have been always kind of like, oh yeah, here's your, you know, here's your friend, here's your enemy. Pretty far on. Like, you could tell from a distance, like, who was your enemy and who wasn't. So I feel like that's definitely something that I wish they didn't really change that, especially with the audio now. Like, it feels less like, oh, you know, here's a guy. Like, it's hard to distinguish sometimes where your enemies and where your friends are. Like you saw right now, I just got killed. I didn't even know that was an enemy because it didn't show me. And it was pretty close, might I say, which is even worse. But it's, you know, it's not that great for me. Also, last but not least, I feel like there's also a very big and important thing almost. There's some lag sometimes. So if you are playing this, like, it's very easy to just die in these matches. So like, if you really want to try it out, be aware of that. Like, it's not necessarily a game thing, but I still wanted to notify this because, especially like, if you want to play this, there is gonna be lag sometimes. It's just how the beta works. There's a lot of people probably tiring it out. I still wanted to tell you guys that is one of the issues that I experienced, especially like a few matches ago. Like, I had some really buggy lag, but it only was for like a short time, so it's also not that bad. But be aware of this, like, there is lag and you will probably experience some like kind of weird things. It's all good, like, so there's not much you can do about that. My overall feeling of this game is that it has a good potential, and I like it a lot, better than Modern Warfare 2 or 1. So I really like that. My only issue is the audio a little bit, because if the footsteps are gonna be like that still at launch, it's gonna be a problem for me. It might be less like inviting for me if the audio is still there like that. So I'm not fully sure how I feel about that just yet. But overall, I do think COD is not worth $80 no matter what you put in it. So I'm definitely not getting this at launch, but I will eventually get it maybe when it's on sale. And I hope by then like all this is either fixed or it's maybe still the same. Maybe not, but who knows really. But the direction they are putting it in right now is pretty good. Like I said before, I am not really big fan of like the faster TTK because I'm not that fast with these kind of things. I like to take my time sometimes with it, and as you guys could see in the background sometimes maybe I like sniping, so like for me having sometimes a little bit of time is for me really essential. Not a quick scope or anything, like sometimes I hit them, but it's all accidental. Thing is, so far I like it. I will not pay 80 bucks for it, but I will get it eventually. And I hope they are gonna keep their promises and that they're gonna keep having balanced weapons and good maps and just overall a good game. Because I feel like this is the first COD after Cold War that I really enjoy. This was a good beta. I'm really proud that it was so good. Especially since like the last ones weren't as good. So honestly, I enjoyed it and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you stay for after the credits, I have some behind the scenes of my very great COD adventures. I tried to record a lot of things multiple times and it did not go well. And yeah, I have some behind the scenes for you guys. So honestly, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll see you guys next video. Bye guys. So a lot of people are just basically playing for just kills. How is that a... What? How is that a one-shot kill? And maybe... Check your damn fire! Sorry.
We've lost the lead. Mags. The enemy is gaining ground. Push them back.
What? Was he not still low? There's no way he regenerated that fast. Sorry. I'm basically stressing everyone out now. Sorry. Ow. Oh, yeah, same.